that plant in recently in Hyderabad, right, Telangana, near Hyderabad, a facility. Then Tata has set up a Lockheed Martin manufacturing facility that is also, I think, in Andhra, right. So these kind of facilities, yes, they are boosting and they are leading to increase in India's domestic defense production. The share is also increasing as per this DPEP, and this build in India, make in India. There has been programs under this DPEP with build, make, okay, make in India, and purchase, okay, buy. So these are some headings they have given under which various provisions are provided by explaining that which one is to which one could aim at manufacturing in India, right. So I've explained this now, and the next topic I'm going to discuss is the direction of India-US ties. So it is a very well written article from Mr. Subramaniam Swamy. Okay, he is eminent, you can say an eminent personality in Indian system. Okay, so he has very well explained the from the very background of Indo-US relations and what can they be in near future, right? So he started with this US asked for independence of India in 1940s when there was World War II. Okay, he asked Britain to free India and let them become partners in World War II. Still, India sent its soldiers for World War II. Okay, Gandhiji said that they were against those fascist regimes, and India supported the World War II by sending the soldiers, right? So, but Britain refused it. Okay, but what happened later? India came out with the principles of Gandhi, the fundamental rights, non-violence, free press. Okay, we came out with our constitution in January 1950. So we became an independent country, which led to our international ties with different countries. So what offer first came from US was he asked Mr. Nehru to offer a permanent UNC. He has explained this. He asked, these are opinions of Mr. Swamy. Okay, so he explains that US asked India to take a permanent seat in UN. Okay, replacing China. Miss Vijay Lakshmi Pandit, the foreign ambassador of India to US then, right? So she clearly informed Mr. Nehru about this offer, but Mr. Nehru said that India is having such clout that India will get the seat, but not at the cost of China. Okay, so it's kind of Nehru refused it. It's as per the views of Mr. Swamy, right? So later on, when US and China conflict settled after coming of Deng Xiaoping, this seat went to China, and now we are running behind this seat, right? Now we have realized the importance what we have missed. Okay, that might not be a mistake what we are seeing today, but yes, we need a seat today, right? Then he explained that the shift of US towards Pakistan. So when India joined the group, this Russia-Soviet group, or you can say allied with Soviet group, the US naturally they aligned with Pakistan. They invited them to join the SEATO, CENTO. These were military groups, right? They also provided them with arms and armaments, and this all led to increasing the power of Pakistan to create Indo-Pak War of 1965, 79, 71, 99. So this is background. Okay, how the US and India ties progressed over the time. Now, what is now to be done? So he explained that in November, America's president poll are to be due. These polls are due. So there are two main candidates, Mr. Trump from this Republic Party and Mr. Joe Biden from this Democratic Party. So Mr. Trump, we have seen that yes, we have several our Indo-US relations have not progressed much to India's benefits, right? Though we have these relations, but they have not progressed much to India's benefits, right? So what we need to do, but this election, they will become a deciding factor, right? Mr. Joe Biden, he is from Democratic Party, and he seems against India, right? He's having kind of hostile stand. And even the left parties in the US, they are very much hostile towards India's the CAA, Citizenship Amendment Act, right? So this has created a problem for India, that what this will lead to. the result of election would determine the future of India-US ties. Okay, so Mr. Swami has given 10 points. Okay, 10 points where India and US can give and take each other for improving on their relations, right? So they say that yes, there has been rift due to these problems like this CAA Act. If Mr. Joe Biden comes up, there can be problems. Okay, and yes, S-400 purchase of S-400 by India from Russia, and that Chabahar deal. Okay, Chabahar deal and that oil purchase from Iran. This has also led to some kind of rift. Okay, between India and US. And yes, there has been issues of rift, other issues like this H-1B visa, then military alignment. Okay, you can say turning into a US ally. India has quietly refused to turn into a true ally of US. Okay, we are becoming a strategic partner, not an ally of US, right? So this militaristic regime, you can say, there is a rift in this area as well. Then there has been problems with this WTO norms. Okay, that there has been trade barriers in US, which Trump says that he wants to reduce this in this trade deficit with India. Okay, so this shows that yes, there are points of rift, but what we can do. Okay, so Mr. Swami says that the trust between the US and India can be built up by giving each other. Okay, by building a reputation of each other. He gives an example of Chandrasekhar government. When Chandrasekhar government wanted this IMF loan, what they did, they allowed the refueling of US planes during this first Gulf War, right? So, and US has almost more than 15%, right? More than 15% quota in IMF. And I think this more than 15% is required to decide, okay, decision making in, I will explain this, in international relation or institutions, right? So the more than 15% of the votes are required for IMF to take a veto. Okay, so US have I think more than approx 16% of the votes. So this gives US the power, and they helped in India securing a feasible loan from IMF in 1991 when India was suffering from this BOP crisis, right? So this BOP crisis, so this helped the decision of refueling of US planes helped India to overcome this crisis. You can say this, okay? Then the points he gave us to improve our relations is that India needs US forces, not US forces, arms and equipments, right? Militaristic help for these LAC tensions in China. And what US needs, they want Indian forces in Afghanistan. They have requested India to send forces in Afghanistan so that US forces could go home. Right? This is a long article, but it gives you very crucial points for writing this Indo-US international relationship. Okay, GS paper 2. The article is long, but see the quality of article. It is being written by this Mr. Subramaniam Swami, and it will fulfill a major demand of this international relation topic, especially the Indo-US, which is kind of hot topic. Okay. So here we are discussing that militaristic. The one area is military. Okay, one area is military, where we need technology, we need arms, we need weapons. Okay, transfer of technology is very much important. Then joint ventures is very much important. Like Tata has developed a joint venture with Lockheed Martin, supplying the products. Okay, this defense products to their offshore offshore companies. Okay, so yes, this will help India, and yes, in opinion of Mr. Swami, yes, India should provide several troops for militaristic help in Afghanistan. Okay, as per Mr. Swami. Then he says that India also needs allies of US, right? Like Israel. Israel has very well benefited India in this defense sector, right? They are very crucial in getting information, especially the intelligence agencies, right? Like those of ISI in Pakistan, or what others are doing. Okay, so if we have better ties with US and their allies, we can have better access to this intelligence network, information of terrorists. Okay, there has been various list sharing, right, with terrorist names, so we can get those information. Okay, their funds, okay, where they are securing the funds. Then the next point, which he very well explains, the strategic development of these naval and air force bases in Andaman and Lakshadweep Island. Okay, so if US, we have better terms with US, they can develop these 2 points as both as logistical hubs and strategic hubs, because they are very much important for sea lanes of communication in Indian Ocean, right? So with the help of all allies of US, even the Japan, Israel, and US, and even the Philippines, they can help develop these areas as logistical and strategic hubs for the global sea lanes of communication to engage India with the global supply chains, right? The next point he gives here is the economic relation that should be based on comparative advantage rather than the Trump's rhetoric of protectionism. These should be based on comparative advantage, and for this, mere flow of FDI in India is not important, right? There should be transfer of technology. There should be removal of trade barriers from US. Like they should allow Indian milk to be exported to US. Okay, these kind of trade barriers should be removed so that comparative advantage can be generated. Then H1B visa issue can be resolved. So that India is sending human capital, they are gaining from us. So this kind of protectionism rhetoric is not genuine. Okay. Then there is one more issue he has raised. Majorly this is an economic issue, and the final issue which he has raised is that not involving in India in kind of overseas battles. Like India, if India does not want to get involved in Hong Kong, Taiwan, Tibet, or South China Sea, or even that Atlantic, if there is a problem, so overseas battle, India should not be dragged into such problems, right? Because India has its own ties. India is a sovereign country, so India should be given the opportunity to decide for its own self. So this would give a long-term, and his long-term Indo-US stable relations. Okay, Mr. Swamy says that in the long run, all the three countries, India, China, and US, should try to form a tri-little community, which is very much important for the global peace and stability. Okay, so this article gives you very much insight in Indo-US ties. Okay. The next topic we are going to discuss is these developmental goals. Okay, so I have been discussing in my environment lectures that environment versus economy debate is a wide scale debate, right? Environment versus economy debate. We have seen that there has been a construction of building near that lake in Kerala, and after Supreme Court decision, that building was quacked or crashed. Okay, so here comes that the economic development should not be mutually exclusive, but should be in mutual coherence with the ecological balance, right? So this article explains about the landslides recently when there was Calicut accident, right? On the same day, this Idukki landslide also took place, and around 22 people have lost their lives in that Idukki landslide. And this article explains that yes, there has been history of landslides in Western Ghats. ओके और ये स्पेशली तब होता है जब वहाँ बहुत ज़्यादा बारिश होती है. ओके, बेटर मानसून प्रिडिक्शन दे लीड टू दीज हैवी मानसून्स, राइट? And this national landslide susceptibility mapping program has been launched by Government of India to zonation, okay, kind of mapping or zonation of areas, covering the areas which are highly prone to landslides. The major these areas are in Himalayas, okay, they are in these Deccan areas, the Western Ghats, and then in Northeast. So these are some major areas. I think they have covered around 13 to 14 states, covering 13,000 square kilometer by this 2018. Okay, this much area they have covered, and they are about to cover more than 6,000 square kilometer in 2019-20. And they have given this data on their website, and which can be used by state disaster management authorities for planning and building strategies for curbing this landslide issue. Okay. Yes, there has been this NDMA guidelines as well. Okay, NDMA guidelines for landslide management, where they are trying to institutionalize this hazard mitigation. Okay, they want to create institutions like SDMA, such institution which can be held responsible, which can respond. Okay, in present scenario, the problem is that yes, there are laws, there are guidelines, but the implementation, or you can say the timely response, is the major problem. Okay, so you can see that laws are barely implemented in India at the right time and right spirit. Okay, this creates the problem for the risk of landslides get increased. Okay, so this creates the problem where we need to improve the institutional management of landslides. Okay, then one more topic he raises here is that the Kerala, the state's disaster management apparatus and the funds, they are only key policies which are first to response. Okay, the fund disposal and sending the SDMA forces, right, disaster management forces. So we need to improve our response. Okay, institutional response should be improved, and yes, there should be ecological balance. Ecological balance should be there, right? We should not be going for illegal mining in those hilly areas, because this leads to disbalance or kind of vibrations which cause imbalance in hilly areas. And we need to come up with proper this monsoon strategy. Okay, so if there is high rainfall in the area, especially in the Western Ghats, we have recently witnessed very heavy monsoon rainfall, right? So there should be adequate provisions for draining of water, right? Adequate provisions for draining of water, and then only, and this can be done better with the help of those zonation maps, right? So yes, the thing is that our development goal should be in coherence with the environmental constraints. Okay. So then the next topic I am going to consider here is the PM launches farm infra scheme. So it was about that recently the Prime Minister has released rupees 17,000 crore for PM Kisan plan, right? So PM Kisan is a central sector scheme, okay, which has been 100% funded by the central government, right? And the aim of this scheme is to provide adequate monetary resources, right? The scheme gives rupees 6,000, okay, 6,000 annually to a farmer who has land on his name, right? Land owning farmers. Land owning. Yes, there is a problem that those tenant farmers, they are devoid of the benefits of this scheme, but several measures have been taken so that they can also come under in near future they can also get covered under this scheme, right? So rupees 6,000 per year has been provided to the land owning farmers in 3 installments of rupees 2,000 in each quarter, right? In each quarter, or rupees 2,000 per quarter. Okay, and this would what the aim is to improve the ability of farmers to invest in their agricultural field so that production can be improved in a sustainable manner. Okay, the aim is to improve the sustainable agriculture in Indian farming sector. Okay, and we also have seen that sustainable agriculture. Okay, we have also seen that in recent economic contraction, agriculture has become the light bearing sector. It has been growing at 4% growth rate even in this July. Okay, so this shows that with good monsoon, the kharif crop is assumed that there would be bumper kharif crop. Okay, so what we need is to better provided with these infrastructural aids, right, so that the sector can grow and realize more value for the farmers and others in the sector, right? So this infrastructure agriculture fund of rupees 1 lakh crore has been provided recently by these announced by Mr. Narendra Modi, our Prime Minister, and he says that it would be used for the storage and processing facilities, right? So that this would lead to reduce the stress selling by farmers. Okay, stress selling is the selling in after the harvest is there. Just after the harvest, farmers do selling of their crops at low prices. So to reduce this stress selling and to improve on better value realization by the farmers, to increase the processing and value addition to Indian agriculture crops, so that better price realization could be achieved. And this you can also say that this is in line with this doubling farmers farm income, right? Doubling farmers income by 2022, the aim decided by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and this move is in line with this aim, right? So he has provided this infrastructure and storage infrastructure creation fund in agriculture sector, and the aim is to reduce wastage, okay, let the farmers store and sell at higher prices, increase processing, improve value addition in India's agriculture sector, make our global our products globally competitive, right? Our agricultural products globally competitive, so that we can sell value added products in global markets, right? So that better income realization could be done by farmers, okay? Because in recent pandemic scenario, the luxury goods, they are not very much under demand, but the food products, they are still very much under demand, and India can gain leverage from this condition, right, in agriculture sector especially. So this has provided us opportunity, a kind of huge opportunity with India to create its post-harvest infrastructure. There has been this term farm to fork, okay, post-harvest infrastructure, creating farm to fork infrastructure, so that the crops from the farm gate are collected and they go through this logistical supply chains to reach the fork of a consumer, right? So this can provide better post-harvest mechanism to enable this waste reduction and better income realization, okay? And also there are aims at improving this cold chain infrastructure, warehousing, giving thrust to organic and fortified foods in India, so that the problem of this soil fertility decrease could be reduced, right? And sustainable agriculture, this concept of sustainable agriculture could be put forward. Fortified food would reduce the problem of hidden hunger, right? There has been this hidden hunger, which is this deficiency of specified nutrients, right? So the next topic is about Indus Water Treaty. It is a treaty between India and Pakistan signed in 1960 about water sharing between India and Pakistan. So the of the Indus River system, right? So the western rivers, Indus, Chenab and Jhelum, they are this 80% of the water of these rivers is to be sent to Pakistan, while 20% can be retained by India, while the entire water of those eastern rivers, Satluj, Ravi and this Bias, they can be entirely used by India. So recently this treaty, Indus Water Treaty, they provide for regular meeting of Indus Water Commissioners, right? Regular meeting of Indus Water Commissioners to discuss the range of issues. So recently Pakistan raised the issue of this Ratle Run of the River project, Ratle Run of River project on Chenab River, okay? This Chenab River, okay, it is situated mostly in Jammu. So the Ratle, Run of River project is something where we do not create a kind of reservoir, or you can say a very small reservoir or kind of pond is created, so that the flow of river could only move the turbine and generate the flow, or could generate the electricity, right? So run of the river is about not storing the water. So these kind of projects do not impede the natural flow largely, okay? They only small impacts are there. Large scale impacts are not there on the natural flow of rivers. So these kind of projects, ROR, run of the river projects, they have been allowed under this treaty on the Indian side by Indian government, and under this provision India has made this Ratle project. But Pakistan has raised its issues on this Ratle Run of the River project. They say that this is in violation of the treaty, and they want World Bank. Yes, World Bank is the guarantor of this treaty, I think, and they have provided for this court. They have asked for this court of arbitration to decide upon the issue. But the problem is, if this issue goes to this court of arbitration, this project would get delayed. Okay, and the project would get delayed and would lead to cost and time overrun. So this India has said that we are okay with your issue, and we can ask for a neutral party to come and decide over this. Okay, it is a kind of solvable issue which can be solved bilaterally, and we can invite a neutral party to decide over it. But Pakistan is firm on its request of this court of arbitration. So there has been this issue, and India has recently cancelled this Indus Water talks. Okay, the virtual talks were to be held as India said, but Pakistan wanted physical talks, so India has cancelled the talks for time now. After Uri attacks, Prime Minister of India said that blood and water cannot flow together, and India decided that it will use all of 20% water, which we are still not utilizing. We are allowing it to flow to Pakistan. So we have decided to use this full of 20% water for our consumption, right? Okay. Then the next topic is Andaman and Nicobar will be a maritime hub. Okay, so it was an announcement by Mr. Prime Minister Modi. He says that this, I have told you that if US can help, if even they not help, these islands are very much at the strategic location, especially on the global supply chains. Okay, so if we can develop them as logistical and strategical hubs, both in terms of militaristic empowerment and in terms of logistic hubs like the entry port type of arrangement which is in Singapore. Okay, so such entry ports could provide for free access to more logistical services, right? So this could boost India's blue economy, right? Mr. Prime Minister has also well raised this point of blue economy. He says that this would lead to increase in blue economy and maritime and startup hub. Okay, this these islands would, especially this island here, so this island would turn into a startup hub. Okay, he says that this area we can boost the trade of sea-based, okay, fisheries, okay, sea-based products, then organic products, okay, then coconut-based products in the region, which are in high quantity and can be better exported for better income realization. Okay. So region can also play a pivotal role in India's self-reliance in new growth, okay, growth of new India. I very well explained that logistical hubs are very much important for global supply chains. We can see the example of Rotterdam and even there's Singapore. So yes, we have the ability to make such an entry port in Andaman and Nicobar, and they are very strategically located. So we can harness the location, okay, the strategic location, geopolitical significance of Andaman and Nicobar is very much important. India has also made this tri-command centers. They are also planning to increase the number of tri-command centers in Andaman and Nicobar. And also we have recently there has been this laying of submarine Chennai optical fiber cable. Okay, this would increase the virtual connectivity of the islands with rest of the world. Okay, so this would lead to better self-reliance of island and turning them digitally independent. Okay, on 10th of August, on today, Prime Minister would inaugurate this optical fiber cable. So yes, these islands have very vast amount of potential to be harnessed, and Indian government is moving in a positive direction. Okay. Okay, then thank you for the day. I would like to end my lecture here. Okay.